Speaking of superstar MLB players, how cool is it being the master of ceremonies at the Hall of Fame?
Oh, it's a thrill of a lifetime. It really is. I remember going to the ceremony when I was younger, when I was a young reporter. And, I remember carrying the gear with my cameraman and looking up on the stage, and there was George Grand. And I thought, wow, that's George Grand. That's so cool. So it's the ultimate job. I love it. I take it very seriously. I love doing the bios of the players. I think the Baseball Hall of Fame serves an integral part of baseball and what makes it still viable and important in our minds and in this country. It's so easy to forget things. So I know I've got the responsibility of I've got 55 Hall of Famers, and even your age, you take it for granted. Oh, Cal Ripken, of course, everyone's going to know Cal Ripken. Well, 10 years from now, not as many. Already, not as many for Ricky Henderson. Not as many for Bert Blyleven. Already Johnny Bench has played a long time ago. I remember him playing. You don't. Cal Ripken sat on the stage with me one time, and he looked out and he saw a bunch of kids playing wiffle ball. And he said, "See those kids out there? They have no idea who I am." And that was Cal the year he got in, when he was inducted, and there was 100,000 people at the Clark Center in Cooperstown. And those kids were 5 years old. And they're like, "No, I've been gone 5 years. They don't know who I am." So I see it as vastly important for baseball, for the country, for all of us that like the whole vibe of watching baseball and having it part of our lives. And I'm thrilled. When I go out there, and eventually I lock in, I concentrate, but there are moments when I'm backstage. I mean, a few years ago, there's George Brett and Brooks Robinson and Mike Schmidt sitting having a conversation. How about that?
Yeah.
I've had those moments, and it's thrilling.
Do you like the current voting process? Do you think the writers do a good job?
Writers are doing a much better job. I think we got an excellent result this year. The voting has gotten smarter. They've kind of reined it in a little bit, gotten a smaller voting. And also, look, for years, I don't know, Brandon, how much you watched of me, screaming about this on ESPN and then MLB in the early years about the voters. And in my book, I savaged the writers and their voting process and their lack of an objective methodology. Having said that, now that it's gone to the war system, the Jay Jaffe war system, and voters are kind of just voting by war, I'm like, wait, hold on. There's more to it than that. So you can swing another way. And now I'm at the point where I have guests on my show, and I say, hey, there's no bad ballot. There's no bad ballot. Whatever your ballot, like if you come in with a ballot, you make your case. Like somebody should make a case for Jimmy Rollins. Somebody should make a case for Mark Burley. I might disagree. You might disagree. Bobby Abreu. Somebody should make that case. Bernie Williams a few years back. Many people should be making that case. I like to have an anomalous pick now. In the old days, I thought it was done out of ignorance. I had a lot of writers, and they wrote columns saying, if I have to think about it, the answer is no. Well, no, you should be thinking about it. You should be doing a little work. Now, there's a methodology to it. Take it very seriously. That's excellent. But come up with something on your own that you just love about a player, and I'm sold.